Welcome again to my tens and tens of friends. It is me, Teacher TJ. And if you're new here, welcome to you too. Thank you so much for tuning in. Stay around for a while. We're going to rewind and review Abbott Elementary, Season 2, Episode 1, Professional Development. And if you like this video, like and subscribe so that you won't miss the next one. So we wrapped up season 1 and we're going to get into season 2. One thing about me is I know that I am not supernatural. So I know I need my days off. It's not a want, I need them. My professional development days are listed on my school calendar. And I do my best to let my parents know what days we're closed. We provide reminders and all of that good stuff. I physically hand my students a hard copy of the calendar in January or December, preferably December. This year I'm slacking, so it's January. And I also will email a copy of the calendar for the school year. So my days are scheduled well in advance, and I look forward to them. On professional development days, we have to complete training hours. Shout out to Erica De Niro. She says that marriage is the only license that you get that you don't need to train for, or that you don't need to have so you don't have to renew or any real qualifications, period. But it's true. But yearly in childcare, staff have to have yearly training hours, and they've gotten a little bit more lax with the CPR. So now that's like every 2 years. Even though the license used to say every 2 years, we used to have to still do it every year. And I used to be like, why does car says every 2 years, but you keep telling me we got to renew them in every year? But they relaxed on that, so we have to renew those every 2 years. And then I also have to renew my license with the state, and I also have to have my supervisor. They come in and check my classroom materials and make sure that my curriculum is intact and all of these things so that I could keep my license. And my quality rating level is on the higher end. Shout out to me. I use Paths to Quality for my quality rating system, and we are a level 3. The highest level is a level 4, and that is, you will have to be accredited. And the accreditation process really can hurt a business, whereas some of the things that may fly under the radar with a level 3 is not going to fly with a level 4. They do a lot more looking into your business in a level 3. So, in a level 4. So I'll just stick with my level 3. The pay isn't too much different. One thing about being with Paths to Quality is I'm able to accept funding from the state for some of my children. And the way that that works is by being with a quality rating system, the higher your level, the more that the state will pay you. So my level 3 not only helps me look good, because regardless if you're a level 3 or a level 0, that does not really mean that you're a good daycare or not, because quite frankly, you could be crappy and be a level 3 if you're not really doing anything. You're just showing proving for the moment. But then there's a center who doesn't have a quality rated system at all, could be a level 3, just not called one from the state, although they're doing all of the things. So the biggest part about Paths to Quality for me is the state will pay me more. But I really don't have to have anyone tell me that I'm great. But so right now I'm prepping for my yearly review. But if they were to pop up, which they should at any day now, I wouldn't be in big trouble because everything is pretty much up to date. The title of this episode is Development Day. The season begins with Janine driving to work, and she's excited that school is starting and that this year she has parted her hair on a different side. And she broke up with Tariq. got Janine, got Janine, got Janine. But yeah, happy about that because she feels like she can grow mentally now. When Janine arrives at work, Ava lets her know that her parking spot is taken. It'll be going for the day, or she has to pay Ava $50 because they're basically tailgating at the school. Everyone is in their ego gear, which I love. I love to twin. I love to twin on purpose. I love to twin on accident. If we're dressed alike, I'm like, yay. But Janine is ready for another school year. All the teachers are setting up their classroom, which is, that's what happens at the beginning of the year in school settings. And my setup happens pretty much seasonally. As much as I can afford it or as much as I have time for it, I might change out the toys and decorate a little bit different. Money is funny, so I did my Christmas decorations. Now I'm trying to move on to my winter February decorations. I'm shopping for a little bit of red, although I'm a little weird when it comes to stuff like that. So I am weary of what color that the kids will see all day, okay? Turns out that if you want a calmer classroom, your classroom should be painted, I think it's yellow or blue. Of course, I don't want to paint my walls to suit that need. So my walls are, what is that, gray? Almost a light gray, I guess. And my theme in my classroom is red and blue on the pillows, and I want to change them to red. The issue with that may be if I notice like they become angry or it has an effect on them, because you really got to watch out for like all of those things. I was just trying to think, reflect on their day in the moment, but they had a pretty good day today. They were sweet and loving. I had one that kept wanting to scream at me. I don't know what that was about, but after a few hugs, she was all right. Setting up your classroom can be fun, but I for sure am looking to do some redecorating here soon. And not only setting up the classroom is not the only thing that happens in the first days. You also kind of get a chance to ZTFO without the kids. Shout out to Big Sean. That's Zen the F out. Barbara worked with Ava, prepping for her new student with a wheelchair to get her to help allocate funds from the grant that they received. Barbara talks about how she went on a cruise and land Barbara is not the same as sea Barbara. Apparently, sea Barbara be lit. So, yeah, she was turned over the summer. Over in the cafeteria, Ava is giving a presentation that seems to not quite be about school. We're not surprised, right? Gregory is now a full-time teacher. Hooray! Jacob has taught abroad. I thought about that before I had kids. I actually thought about studying Spanish abroad. Abroad? Is it abroad? Don't judge me. But um, at Purdue, they would allow you to go and take your Spanish classes abroad, and you can, instead of, I think you need 3 or 4 semesters of Spanish or a foreign language. And if you went and studied abroad for the summer, that's like what, 2 years almost? Done a lot quicker if you study Spanish abroad. So I never did it, but I did think about it. Melissa spent her summer with the vending machine guy, and it was nostalgic for her. Apparently, it smelled like vinegar and cigarettes on the boardwalk. I think that's where she was at, which reminded her of her childhood. She doesn't smoke cigarettes. Shout out to her. I implore you to quit smoking. Lean in. Quit smoking if you smoke. Or if you cannot quit smoking, then cool. But I beg you not to smoke around your children. I beg you to not even smoke in your home. If you want to smoke, that's your business. Your kid did ask for that secondhand smoke, which is actually more harmful than the smoke that you're smoking. So please go outside and smoke. Okay. And please don't smoke in a car with your kids. That's crazy work. Every time I see that, I'm judging you. Know it. If you would like to quit smoking, I ask that you try black pepper essential oil. What you would do is just simply sniff it out the bottle. It has a spicy aroma, and the act of inhaling and exhaling kind of mimics smoking. So I think smoking is a little bit mental. and quitting is mental as well. But lifting the bottle up and down and inhaling and exhaling is the whole process is kind of like mimicking smoking, which can help you quit. Overall, I say try to quit. There's tons of information free out there. 1-800 quit smoking, I think it is. Um, so that it can help you quit smoking. Janine has gotten the Eagles or maybe it's the hockey team, but she got the mascot to come out and visit the kids. And all the teachers began to get excited about the mascot coming, except for Greg. And he's like, I don't get it. Um, he basically comes out and says, I don't get gritty. Why he say that? It's kind of like the whole pizza debacle. Everybody like, what? You don't get gritty? What type of person is you? But he doesn't get gritty. After the meeting, Ava lets Melissa know that she will be teaching a combined class. It's like, where they do that at? She has to teach the second and the third grade class, and they're combining them. Gregory has planned his day down to the second, and that is wild work, okay? Barbara gently reminds him that as teachers, we only can do what we can, okay? But we have no real control over what we can't control. Planning a day down to the second is crazy work because there are so many things that can happen in a day. We just like really don't have control over what's going to happen in the day. And children in preschool have to have like 5 hours of free time. So I personally don't force kids to do work. Usually they love to work, but I'm not planning down to the second. Although I do have probably something planned every hour. Whether they do it or not depends on the day, depends on the child. While using Janine's computer, Jacob notices that she has a notification that says her rent hasn't been paid. Jacob all in her business. And that she's going to be evicted. He tells Gregory, and they talk to her about it. Janine assures everybody that she's okay, everything is fine, she has everything under control. After some small talk, Gregory asks Janine if she was dating someone. She says no and begins to set up for her professional development presentation. And in that moment, Mr. Johnson lets her know that she's about to get a boot on her car. The boot comes from Tariq's 7 unpaid tickets. So she tries to drive off against everybody's wish with the boot on her car, and it doesn't work. At that very moment, Gritty shows up and she practically goes off on Gritty. Then she realizes she messed up in scheduling. And with everything combined, she just feels sad. And I felt bad for Janine in this moment because admitting that she was sad was like kind of admitting defeat for her. I personally myself will not say that I'm sad. It's like I know God gave us emotions and we experience all of them, but I try to just make everything better because I know if I really sat down and I really thought about all the reasons that I'm sad or all of the things that I could be sad about, I would find that all of my reasons for being sad are pretty justifiable, okay? And I'd allow myself to process the sadness, and then I think I would think about more things to be sad about and probably end up in a depressed stupor, justifiably so. And sometimes, not often, but sometimes I allow myself to cry for 42 seconds. Then I get back to it. I focus on not falling into a depression, so I remember all the reasons that I should be happy or all of the things that I'm grateful for. And then I smile and I practice gratitude and I accept the things that I cannot change. Janine is a make lemonade out of lemons type of girl. Barbara lets Janine know that growing and becoming an adult means that you feel your feels. We are constantly growing and evolving. At that moment, Ava, the ungrowing adult, says something childish, and Melissa encouraged her just to go through it and get her lesson. The mascot quite naturally can't speak due to the costume, I guess, but I don't think he knows ASL either, so he kind of just mixed up his own hand gestures and or gestures. Yet Janine understands him, and he offered Janine a hug. Meanwhile, Gregory is freaking out about his classroom schedule, and the first day has not even begun yet. Barbara assures him that being a teacher is already doing the impossible. And yet we show up every day and try to do our best, even without the proper desk for our students. Okay. But we still have something. Barbara has something. She has a rent for her new student. And Gregory learns to look on the bright side of things and to make the most out of what we have. Janine is learning about herself. And I encourage everyone, as long as you live, to continue to listen to your body and learn about yourself. Jacob gives Janine the money for her rent. Outside of the building, all of the teachers pick up their students for the first day of school. Inside, Gregory was able to find Barbara a desk from in the basement, or storage, I guess, for her student that was in a wheelchair. Gregory noticed Janine's new side part. And y'all, the side part one night, it's like saying I got a side part. I know I don't. my hair is going to different sides, but there's okay, I guess I do have a part, but there was no part there. But Gregory noticed the side part and he started to understand Gritty, and the show ends. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you have not done so yet. Bye for now. Check and see my hands, Ashley. That was up. Hey, Aquaphor is the truth. Like, if you're like me, most teachers or nurses have to wash their hands like 8 million times a day. And that Aquaphor, look at this. No webby, nasty looking, cracked up fingers. And I put it on at the beginning of the day, and my hands are still good. And I'm, being a teacher, a parent, or an adult with good moral hygiene, I guess. Good hygiene. I wash my hands a lot. So I'm pretty surprised that it's not so bad right now, but it's not. Yay me. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Have my, not my supervisor, but my, we'll call him my supervisor. They come, something like that. Right? No, it's probably 3 or 4 semesters. Basically, you can get my quality rating level is on the higher end. Shout out to me. Janine is making lemons out of lemonade. Janine is a make lemonade. Janine is a make lemonade out of lemons type of girl.